Hi. Yes, I'm Catherine, the creator of SHEA and the JETSUNS, Community Preservation of the Promised Land. Okay, so I'm going to be loading up videos through my phone because it just seems like I can't get through because Google keeps, deleting stuff and making it difficult for me to even upload videos. But I wanted to show you this. Now, this is about Black Jesus. Now, um, David Wilcox here. If you don't know who he is, he's a half breed, gray alien and human. So he's humanoid. Anyway, he tells the story about about the Black Jesus that he said that was in that was in Africa, but I thought he was in Harlem actually. So in 1968, it was a Black Jesus man to where he was doing everything how what Jesus was doing, but way more, and the government came and tried to murder this man like over and over again. He shot him in the face, and his face came back together and like nothing ever happened. I mean, like shot him in the face repeatedly, and then his whole head came back together right then and there. And then he just said, "Well, you can't kill me, so I'm gonna continue to do my work." So he ended up what I saw, and I think it was 1972 or something in the 70s. It was sometimes in the 70s. It was a black tall man, and I think he was in Harlem. If anybody remember that, he was tall and he had a beard. Anyway, everybody followed him. It was children, black children, all all of course, because he was in and he was for the people. And anyway, it was a whole bunch of people that was following him, and women was holding onto his shirt and following him and holding onto his coattail and everything. I mean, he just holding onto this man. Some was crying and stuff because they seen so many miracles that he did, like right then and there. So the government got him and tried to murder him. Shot him all in. Well, got him to the office and said, okay, and said, oh, well, you're this miracle man and all this, and you're Black Jesus. Okay, well, why don't we take you to the United Nations and try to trick him? They didn't take him to the United Nations, because he wanted to announce himself to the United Nations. That's what he wanted. Do I have it? Okay, my time was going on. Anyway, he wanted to announce himself to the United Nations, and they tricked him, and instead they shot him repeatedly in his face, and then his face came back together normal right then and there, like nothing ever happened, like the X-Man. So he tells and so he said, well, you can't kill me, so I come here to bring the people into the promised land or whatever. So they couldn't kill him. So they tried to again chop him. This time they chopped him up into little pieces and put him in the pieces in the container and then disintegrated it. When they went back to the office, he was still there. He was right there. He materialized right in the office. And so that was a black man that they called Jesus. So he said, look, I'm going to leave, but when I come back, it's going to be many of me's that is going to come back, and then you won't be able to stop us. So now that was in 1960, like 1968. Now this was the reason why they started to murder all of the black civil rights attorneys, Martin Luther King, because they didn't know who, because if they couldn't kill him, they thought that he returned back into one of the either Malcolm X or whatever. So that's why they was killing. That's why it was just war. Because it happened right after. Because when Martin Luther King was assassinated, I was born 6 days right after that, and so that's when they just started killing everybody. They killed Martin Luther King's mother. A year later, they killed his brother because they didn't know where this Black Jesus went. They don't know where he went, and they didn't want him to. They didn't want him to be alive on this earth because he has the ability to do all things. I mean, obviously, if they can chop you up into little pieces, and then you right there. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I don't own this video. This is not even a video. This is just David just talking. So it's just a tape that a radio show from Okay, so let's just listen to this. What he said.
Probably one of the most shocking. The Black Jesus story was probably one of the most shocking things I ever heard. It came from my insider, Jacob, I call him that in the book, who actually was working for Rothschilds and still does. And also is a whistleblower who doesn't really do what they want, but continues to work for them because he feels like there's some very serious extraterrestrial threats to Earth and that what they're doing is very necessary to protect us. So the story goes that in the 1960s, there was a black man in Africa who came in with abilities complementary to those of Jesus. And he was performing miracles. He was starting to get people to listen to what he had to say. And the cabal tried to kill him. And, they could shoot him in the head and his skull would just regenerate and the flesh would grow back and he was fine. And, so...
And that's where the X-Men, all of the X-Men and Marvel Comics came in, was when they met the Black Jesus. That's when X-Men came, because, yeah.
The crazy story that I heard, and remember, I was told at the time that if I disclosed this, that I would be killed. And I ended up putting it in the book anyway. The story was that this guy, they finally said, okay, we're going to bring you to the United Nations and share your message with the world. Let's get you on this flight. They bring him on this flight, and instead of bringing him to the United Nations, they shot him repeatedly, and then actually had some kind of meat grinder device, and basically like a bandsaw, I guess, and sawed up his body into a whole bunch of pieces, put him in these very like radioactive shielded containers, and then had all these fighter jets dock with the plane and fly his body parts to all corners of the world, where then these containers turned them into ash. And they thought that maybe this would defeat him, like that his body somehow, the tissue was necessary. So if they destroyed all the tissue in all these places across the world, maybe they could defeat him. Well, he then regenerated in their offices and was fully fine, fully intact. But the sad part is that he said, you guys so badly do not want me to be here that I am not going to be able to do any more. You're going to get what you want, but bear in mind that in the future, many others like me will be coming, and when they do, you will not be able to stop us.
Wow. Wow. Well,
that is all I know. Unfortunately,
right.
There's nothing more to the story than that. I don't
incredible.
But it is an incredible story.
Incredible.
Now, when that happened, I'm gonna finish this too, because this is longer than what Now, if they won't let me show this or whatever, something, then I'll put this on the full story will be on Rumble anyway. It's gonna be on Rumble. Tomorrow it'll be on Patreon. So I want to thank everybody who's still with me. Tasha Thompson, thank you. Tracy Steele, Karen, Teddy Pendergrass's wife, thank you so much. Earl, thank you. To people that are donating, that have donated, thank you so much. So I just want to thank you that I'll be sending the videos, and other people, all the people that donated, and people that are on my email, thank you so much. Indigo, I just want to, I'm trying to remember the names, but you know what I mean. So let's finish this, but all the people that donated, thank you so much. Okay, so, which was actually 4 people. Okay, so now the reason why they killed Martin Luther King and all of them, because they thought that he went inside the body. They thought that this Black Jesus went inside the body, but and this is why we're still being, well, not anymore. You don't really hear too many police shootings or anything like, police brutality. I don't really think we hear or see that too much. And the reason being is because they're defunded, and it's just a mess with this, boom boom, right? Speaking of the boom booms, okay, yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and upload the videos on my Rumble. Okay, so just there's gonna be new videos that are already stocked up in. I have so many videos. I got about 10 videos that I haven't uploaded because I'm having a difficult time doing it. But tomorrow I'll be able to do it on Rumble. I'll load up the videos about depopulation of whatever. Okay. And well, anyway, he said he's coming back. Now, he said you won't be able to stop us. Now that would be, it's I don't really know. I know who it is, but it's like I think it's a lot of us. 144,000. I think it because they said, oh well, because I'm not religious. I'm not religious, but you have to. But it's coming to the surface. I mean, some of the parts are. I'm talking about where they're going to be saying, "Oh, hide us from the rocks and the mountains, oh Lord," because they're doing that now. As you can see, they're hiding in their bunkers, and the reason why is because they know that he's already here, but there's a time in which somehow we're gonna change or something. I don't know how. I mean, I don't know how I'm gonna change into with this body. Maybe you see but he said that we're all gonna change. He said we're all gonna change because remember now, um, I don't know. It's just a lot. I really can't go into a lot of details with this, but you know, the reason why they have the Marvel comics is because they're talking about us. And when you watch the TV series Loki, they're talking about this man. Um, so I can't even show it because I don't want to get a copy strike or whatever. But watch the TV series. It's on Disney. Watch the last episode. It's the last episode of Kang. I mean the last episode of Loki, number 6, and you'll see the black man Kang, which is him, and they tried to kill him in the elevator and they couldn't kill him, and he did that on purpose because he said, well, I'm the one that set everything up. I'm the one that made all this happen. So everything I paved the road. So everything that we did, he paved the road for us. He made us end up like this. And the reason why we're like this is because we have to see who's who. You can't create I'm the one that creates the promised land. I can't create the promised land and let everybody in. You have to know who's who when you bring somebody into the promised land. Or what's the point in having the promised land? We'll just have hell, right? Anybody can just get at you. But